What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Betcha Breakdown Show, where we're going to be talking about some of our favorite bets over on Betcha. And if you haven't signed up already, you're just making bad life choices. Go on over to Betcha, get signed up using the promo code Grinders, and get a free deposit bonus, 100% up to $200. So you deposit 50, you get $50. You deposit 100, you get $100. All the way up to $200. They got all sorts of contests for basketball, baseball, CSGO, which I haven't dabbled in at all, NASCAR, golf, NHL, pretty much everything you could possibly want to play some DFS props on, they have it. And it's pretty simple. Let's just open up. So you can pick anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 props, and the payouts change a little bit. So let's do 4 of them. Real simple. Pays 8.5x, depending on which contest you're in. 3 of them pays 5x your bet. 2 of them pays 2.5x. So different payouts based on what you get. And if you get 50% or more of those right, then you actually get Betcha bucks back, which the strategy is, I don't know how much you've messed around with it, Dan, but the strategy is like you go a little less ballsy on the first one, but with your Betcha bucks, you go all in. You don't get the original equity back. So you want to go as far out as you possibly can, 5, 6, whatever your risk tolerance will let you, and just let it ride. That's kind of my strategy. Is that kind of what you feel like too?
Yeah, and it makes sense, right? Like you're kind of playing with house money, I guess would be the way to put it in gambling terms with those betcha bucks.
Well, you don't
So
get
yeah,
any
I agree.
original equity back. It's not even quite house
Right.
money. It's just like based on things like me and you. Let's say we're betting on heads or tails. I say if I have a bet, if I'm using Betcha bucks, we're betting on heads and tails, or let's say red and black over on a roulette wheel. If you put it on red or black, you have $10 in Betcha bucks. You win. You only get $10 back. You don't get $20 back like you would if you bet $10. But if you knowing that you want to put money on any of the random numbers out there, like 36 or something, where it pays 36 to 1. So you may only win once out of every 38 times, but you're essentially getting 90% of your equity back over time. Whereas if you're just doing red or black, the maximum amount you can possibly get over time is 50% of your equity back. So it always makes sense it's the same concept with free bets on sports books. That's why I always tell people, like, use them on futures. Like, I have a ton on the Celtics and Golden State to win. So I win money no matter what, because free bets are fun.
Yeah, what the worst thing you can do is lay some heavy chalk with your free bet.
Yeah, like so let's say you have a 100% guaranteed to win at like minus 1,000, meaning 1,000 pays 100. The free bet would be worth 10% of the overall. So $10 free bet is worth $1 every single time. Whereas if you have 100 to 1, that's probably closer to 200 to 1. You bet that over time, your free bet's actually worth 50 cents or $5 instead of $1. So I don't know if that makes sense. That's just a high overview. But we got some basketball coming up tomorrow. We got some baseball today. Ready to give out a few bets for the people, or a few player prop parlays?
Yeah, I was surprised because basketball's Sunday, I think, right? We got the 2 game. So I wasn't expecting props to be up, but they surprised me. Betcha surprised me. They have some early props up for them.
Yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and check that one out first. I have not looked into it too much. I have made some real life sports wagers. Just freebie for you guys. Draymond Green over 0.5 3-pointers if you're in a legal betting state. It's pretty solid, plus 150 odds. But Betcha doesn't have that.
But they do have, you mentioned Draymond. They have Draymond props on there, and yeah, he got heavy run first game, and you assume the same.
Yeah, no, I mean, he should get heavy run in this one. I mean, he should do a lot on the boards. He's obviously a guy that distributes a lot. And going up against a Boston defense that's very good and should be able to cover most of the guards, Poole, Clay, Steph, Draymond's going to end up with a decent amount more usage. Grant, he shot absolutely terrible the first match.
Yeah.
It just absolutely god-awful. And went 1 for 10, I think, from the floor. So not expecting a ton from him offensively, but the volume should be there. He should get 6, maybe 8 points. I don't know if I like the over of 8.5 points, but I don't mind this over of 22.5 points, assists, rebounds. I think his
Yeah, that's
rebound
what I
prop
like
is
too.
probably going to be around 7.5. Assist prop probably around 6.5. So I'm okay with doing that. Any of these other ones stand out to you? I bet the over on Wiggins over 1.5 3-pointers made the other game. It hit. I don't mind that one. Curry seems to be just on a tear and wanting to do everything. They seem to be, like the other guards, seem to be struggling a little bit more because playing a better defensive team. I don't hate the over on his points, but it's getting a little bit high. Tatum over 6.5
Some of
rebounds.
these are fairly thin.
The what?
Yeah, some of these are fairly thin where you don't see a ton of edge on most of these. I like the Draymond one is what stood out to me too. Um, the other one that kind of jumps out, but it's so low that it's scary. Robert Williams, six and a
Yeah.
half points. But it feels like he doesn't have a role in this series really, and
Yeah.
that his minutes can get squeezed.
Yeah, they might end up getting squeezed and he's still recovering from injury. I think they gave him a 20 minutes cap in the last game. Maybe he's a little bit more ready to go after 3 days. But I could see taking the under on that and the under on Looney. Just hoping both of them aren't in the game a ton. Get a nice little
Yeah,
correlation. What do you think about that?
yeah, that works for me.
All right, so
And
under Looney.
I think I might like the Looney side a little bit more, but uh, it makes sense to go with both, like you said. For hopefully the game pushes small quickly, and then we're looking at both guys going on there getting their unders.
Yeah, well, I mean, the main thing is Looney was just great on the offensive end in the last series, but I mean, he was going up against Kleber, against Powell. Like now he's going up against Robert Williams. We look at what he did in the Memphis series, going up against Jaren Jackson Jr. and Steven Adams. He only hit the over on this one time in that series. So far in this current series, in game one, he only ended up with 4 points. So I really like the Looney under on points. Wish it was 1 point higher at 7.5, hoping that he doesn't get to the line to finish sometime. But yeah, so we got Tatum over 6.5 rebounds, Draymond over 22.5 PRA. Robert Williams under 6.5 points, and Kevin Looney under 6.5 points. Nice little 10x payout. So if you got some Betcha bucks, that's a good one to use it on. Let's go ahead and do a baseball one, maybe 2 of them, and get on out of here. I was looking at some stuff beforehand. So first thing that pops out to me is the Toronto game. So I'm looking at bats here. Buxton going up against Kikuchi with the platoon split, 1.5 total bases. I like the over on that. Vlad going up against Chichi Gonzalez. Bichette going up against Chichi Gonzalez. Springer going up against Chichi Gonzalez. What are the odds that they all get over 1.5 total bases? Probably not awful.
Yeah, I was surprised when I pulled up the probable starters and saw that I saw Gonzalez, and I was not sure which Gonzalez it was that was going to be pitching, and then I saw Chichi, and I got excited. Not a good pitcher, regardless of if he's pitching in Coors or not. Now, obviously, with the Twins as opposed to Colorado, but yeah, he's allows a ton of contact. So that I like the overs for Toronto as well. Buxton, are you afraid of the cold streak? Are you a cold streak guy?
I'm not a huge cold streak guy. I mean, there are times
Yeah,
where
I'm
you
not
can look
either.
into things like occasionally these strikeouts maybe way higher, and he's just not seeing the ball. But I mean, he's still far too good. I just don't care. Going up against Kikuchi is a guy that has been very solid versus lefties. Struggled a little bit versus righties over the course of his career. So getting a just fantastic player in Buxton with a platoon split, I'm willing to roll the dice on it.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it too.
Yeah. All right, we'll do one more real quick and get out of here. Let's see. Do you want to go with the Brewers game or the Yankees game?
Let's go with the Brewers since I'm a Wisconsin guy.
All right. Well, I think this is going to be a low scoring game. We could go with any of the strikeout props, but like realistically, I don't think Voit gets a hit. I definitely don't think Yelich gets a run or RBI. And Jace Peterson,
Dude,
I don't
Jay,
think he gets a hit.
Speaking opposite of cold streaks, Jace, my guy, man, he's been last two. I mainly know this because I was fading him hard in some DFS contests.
Oh yeah,
And the guy has buried me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
But that's the thing. Like, what, he's hitting ninth, I think, regardless of lefty or righty on the mound. So we're looking at a ninth place hitter. We think there's not going to be a lot of hits in this game, so we might be only looking at 3 at bats for him.
Yeah, and I'd say there's a decent chance of that with Musgrove on the mound. I think he's third in the league in ERA. Not that ERA matters. Still sitting at 3.1 xFIP. So yeah, so rolling with the 3 unders here of Voit, Yelich, and Peterson, and boom, you got yourself a 5x betcha. Anything else you got to say before we get on out of here?
No, go Brewers. Hopefully it's a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting game if you like those, which I do. Again, guys, if you haven't signed up for this already, just go to Betcha, download the app, and use the promo code Grinders. Get it, the deposit bonus. It's literally free money. You play through it once and it's yours. And we'll be back here every Friday giving you some more picks so you can go through that deposit bonus. But it's been fun. We're out of here. See you, kids.